bank statements. This is personal bank statement. All right, so let's read the text now. Let's read the text, and then I'll talk to you about this a little bit. Yeah, it does look like accounting. It looks like EMS and accounting. All right. They often present these kind of things, and then they ask a whole lot of questions on it. There's a lot of information here, so we need to interpret this very carefully before we even look at the questions. We need to understand exactly what's going on before we even start these questions. Okay. All right. So, personal bank statements. It says here, your friend Kim, at the top there, the text, your friend Kim has asked you to help him. Very strange for Kim to be a boy's name. Just make sure you guys are muted. All right, so it says your friend Kim, and it says him. So Kim is a him. He is sure there are some errors in the bank statement, as some things do not make sense to him. Below is a copy of his bank statement. So let's have a look. So it says Mr. Kim de Villiers there in the top, and he's got his address there. Statement for January 2019. So it's a 1 month statement for 1 month of transactions. We got his account number. Guys, it's not in a real account number, so these are fake. So it's Vincent Park branch code. That's all the bank information there. Okay, let's have a look. So what's different about this bank statement from the word go? And I don't know if you can notice it, but if you look at these numbers, for example, let's look at this right-hand column here, the balance column. We've got a number there, and then we've got a number there over there as well. So what they've done here is they've split the rands and the cents up. So this line that goes down here is almost like a decimal. So let's just interpret that and understand. We make sure we understand what's going on. So it's 12,783 rand and 56 cents. Okay, so that line there, make sure you understand that, is a line separating the rands and the cents. Okay, so that first number there is 12,783 and then 56 cents. So that's the first thing we need to understand. All right, so let's understand that first. Okay, and then we got 6 columns here. First column is the date. They always have a date column. Details in the second column. Then we got debit and credit. Now these are the people that are putting in chat here, accounting and EMS, because they talk about debits and credits. So we sometimes see this in bank statements in the exam, sometimes not. So we'll talk about that in a moment. And then to the right of that, we've got the fees column. These are all the banking fees. Hey, that's fantastic. The bank takes our money. And then on the right-hand side at the end here, we've got the balance column. So this is keeping a track record of your bank balance. Okay. Let's go back to debit and credit. Which one is which? What are they doing? Now, the accounting people will know this, but for people like me who don't do accounting, this often confuses me. All right, so let's have a look and understand using the numbers they've given us to try and interpret what is debit and what is credit. Okay, I'm sure people are itching to put in chat what they are, but let's use these numbers to understand what's going on, because in math literacy, it's good to interpret the contextual diagram or statements or sheet that they give you. So let's see what a debit and a credit actually means. So we've got an opening balance here, and the opening balance is the starting balance at the beginning of the month. This opening balance is exactly the same as the closing balance of the previous month. So the previous month statement closed with this value, 12,783 and 56 cents. And this month will open with this value, 12,783 and 56 cents. Now, the first transaction, which is on the 3rd of January, was a deposit. Now, we know a deposit is putting money in. When you deposit, you put money in. So that's putting money into this bank account. And we can see here that it was 1,000 rand that was put in. They've got it under the credit column. Okay, and we look at the bank balance, we can see that our 12,783 increased to 13,768. So when you put money in, like a deposit, it goes into the credit column over here, and it increases your balance. Okay, so credits, when they put credits in the credit column, will increase your balance. Okay, so let's write that here just to remember. Credits increase your bank balance. That's money coming in. All right, so there's money coming into your bank account and it increases it, makes it bigger. Then Let's look at this value now, 13,768. There was a payment in the third row on the 5th of January. They put that in the debit column, and that has decreased the value. So it went from 13,768 to 12,889. So the debits, payments coming out of your account go in the debit column. The money going out is in the debit column. That is decreasing your bank balance. Okay. Yes. So these are all the accounting people saying for every credit there is a debit, etc., etc., etc. All right. These are all accountants talking now. Let's write here. So debits, in terms of this bank balance, will decrease the balance, decreasing your money in your bank accounts. Okay. All right. So we understand that. Now, another thing I want to show you is this fees column. Now, usually in bank statements, well, I know for mine, they will put, for example, in the second row where we have the deposits of 1,000 Rand, they will put the fees in a row underneath this. So they'll say, this is how much money went in your account. And then underneath, they'll say, this is what the fees were charged. But in this bank statement, they put the deposits and the fees for the deposits in the same row. So that's something very different as well. So the transaction, what happened to the account, whether it was in or out, money coming in or out, and the fees for that transaction is in the same row. Okay, so please remember that. Okay, so I hope we understand what's going on now in this bank statement. Are there any questions, without even looking at what's coming up after this, are there any questions about this statement as it stands in front of you? Before we even look at the questions that are coming, are you guys happy with what you're seeing here? Do you understand it? Does it make sense? Anyone want to talk to us about any questions? Jenny, that does come up in the exam. Yeah, so bank statements do come up in the exam. They'll do short ones like this with a couple of transactions. They don't, this in fact comes from an exam. They don't often use lines for the rands and cents separator, the comma, but they've done it in this one. And often the fees are written below the transaction. And sometimes they don't even put the debit and the credit. The most important thing when you're trying to understand this is what the transaction is and how it changes the balance. Does it increase the balance or does it decrease the balance? Okay. And oftentimes you'll find that information about that in the details column here on the left. So there'll be information about what the person is doing or what's happening to the bank account. And you can tell from the words that are written there in the details column exactly what's going on. And then you can see, I will Sakila, then you can see what these words translate to in the bank balance on the right-hand side. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go over the fees one more time. Sounds like someone's microphone is on. Okay. Kashiso, yes. All right. Kashiso, I don't know if you've got a microphone working. I see you've raised your hand, but I don't know if your microphone is functioning because I can see on my screen that there's no microphone that's working. So just check your side there if your microphone is working. I'd love to answer your question, but I don't think your mic is working. Otherwise, you can put it into the chat. Your question. And Pause has got an example of how this works. So 10877 minus 125 equals, Paul's looking at A and he's jumping the gun here. He wants to know, hey, I know what's going on here. For A, the missing value, I need to check if you're right. All right, Paul, we're getting there. We're getting there. You're jumping the gun a little bit. Hold on. Hold your horses. All right, hold your horses. Okay, now let's have a look at what's written underneath here because this is important. It relates to the questions that are coming up. Okay, so we have some text underneath the bank statement. It says, note, EFT means electronic funds transfer. All right. And then the first line here, let's read it. It says, the fee for deposits, this is a bank fee, is 2 Rand plus 1 Rand for every 100 Rand that is deposited. Okay. So for example, this is similar to Thursday's lesson. If you want to deposit 300 Rand, you have to pay 2 Rand always, no matter how much you deposit, you're going to pay 2 Rand plus 1 Rand. I'm going to put a bracket here, 1 Rand for every 100 that you have. Now, how many hundreds do we have? We can see it's very easy, but if the number was complicated, you just divide by 100 to get that value. But we can see that we have 300s here. So it's 1 Rand for every 100. We have 300s. So that's how you would calculate the fees for a deposit. Okay, similar to Thursday's lesson. All right, so that's how the first line works. We understand that. We might need to use it in the questions that come. Then we go to the second line. Stop order payments cost 2 Rand 50 regardless of the amount. What that means is, doesn't matter how much your stop order is, you're going to get paid you're going to get charged, sorry, 2 Rand 50 as a fee. Okay, so let's have a look at an example. So in the third row here, there is a payment to Con Cars. All right, that's a stop order payment. So there's a payment to Con Cars. And if we go across, it's in the debit column because money's coming off out of your account. And then in the fees column, these are the fees that you will pay. All right. So you're not only paying the stop order of 876 Rand 45 cents, but you also have to pay the 2 Rand 50 for that transaction. All right. So it's 876 and 45 cents plus the fee for that. And that altogether will change your total. We're going to look at it now. We're going to do an example. It's going to be in the question. Okay. All right, Spiwa, I'm going to do it just now. I'm going to just read through this text at the bottom here, and then we're going to go through this table again. Okay. The third line of this text underneath, it's important to understand this. It says card purchases cost 1 Rand regardless of the amount. Are there any card purchases? We have a deposit. We have a payment. There's an EFT purchase. You see there? In the fifth line, 12th of January, EFT purchase, that purchase, card purchases cost 1 Rand. We can see a purchase of 125 Rand 60 was made. And in the fees column, there's your fee for your purchase. All right, 1 Rand. Okay, so it was 1 Rand to purchase something at the shop there. That's what that line means. Purchase at a shop or something, and it costs you 1 Rand, no matter how much your item cost. Okay. All right, we're going to go back to, don't worry about the last line, rent. Don't worry about that. That's for a personal budget. All right, let's go back up to the top one again. And we're going to look at the first line here, opening balance. So this is the balance that came from the previous month. This is how much is in the bank account to start with. Okay, whoopsie. My apologies. Let's go back here. So this is how much was in the bank account to start with. All right. Then we're going to go to the next transaction. I'm going to do green for money coming in and blue for money going out. So a deposit was made on the 3rd of January. That 1,000 Rand deposit came in. It costs you a fee for that. All right. We're not going to work that out. It just costs you a fee. And now this is your new balance. Money came in. It increased the 12,783 to 13,768. All right. Now we're going to go to the next transaction. A payment was made out of the account. You made a payment, a stop order. All right. It doesn't say stop order there, but we know down the bottom here, stop orders are 2 Rand 50. And yet this transaction cost 2 Rand 50. So this must be a stop order. All right. A stop order is, it's money that comes off every single month from your account. So if you can do it with shops. If you buy an item in the shop, you can set up a stop order so that the shop is allowed to take the same amount of money from your account every single month. People can also do this personally. Like if I want to pay someone 10,000 Rand from my account, I can create a stop order to take 500 Rand off the next 20 months. And every month that stop order will take 500 Rand off and pay that person. So it's an automatic payment that runs every single month. Okay, you set it up. Companies can set it up for you, or you can set it up for yourself. A payment will come off every single month to pay people money that you owe them. Okay, so on the 5th of January to Concars, the payment to Concars was 876.5045. It's a debit, it's coming off. It costs $250 because it's a stop order, and it decreased our balance. Again, same thing on the 5th of January. Mr. Smith had money got paid to him. It came out of our account 2,000 Rand, and also 250 was the charge, and that changed the bank balance like that, decreased the bank balance. Then 12th of January, EFT purchase. This is a purchase at a shop or something, 125 Rand 60 and a 1 Rand fee for that. And we don't know what the bank balance is. They obviously want us to know. Well, sorry, to calculate that later on. 26th of January, a payment to S. Yusuf, also a stop order, 2,600. Again, a 250 fee for that stop order. And again, the balance changes. Finally, we get this last one, which is salary. Now, obviously, your salary gets paid into your bank account, and I don't know if you guys can see it. A salary is money coming in, and therefore it goes in the credit account, okay? And that money coming in will increase the bank balance, and it went up to 19,718. All right, so that's what's happening in this bank account, okay? So we've got the transactions, and we have the details and explanation of the fees. And now let's have a look at the question. And when you do these questions, it will make a lot more sense. So let's have a look at the first one. All right. The first one, like Paul has already done, says determine the missing value of A. Determine the missing value of A. This is where you guys step in. I want you all to try this one. Have a look. What's happening in this line? So I'm going to use yellow here. This is the line. Determine the missing value A. What is the balance in the bank account after the EFT purchase is made? Excuse me. All right, you guys are going to try this, and then we're going to work on it together and show you our answer. All right. You've got the values from the table. You've also got the information about the fees underneath. Let's see if you guys can work this one out. Yes, and Paul, I saw that. I saw you did. All right, we're going to hold on to that value. Okay. Yes, well done, Tiamo. When you see a letter, you guys quickly jump and know that you have to solve it. You probably have done that one. Well done, Depur. Good job. All right, Kathleen, so let me see if I can help you. So we have the previous statement or the previous transaction. This is the balance there. Okay, so if you look at that little red arrow, that's the balance after the previous transactions. That's how much money is in the bank account. Then look at the yellow line. This is a new transaction now. It's a purchase. Okay, a purchase was made at a shop, and 125 Rand and 60 cents was the value of the purchase. So there's 125 Rand 60, and the fee for the purchase was 1 Rand. The banks charge a fee. So it's not just 125 Rand 60 going out of your account, it's 125 Rand 60 and also the fee that you have to pay for that. So now what is the new balance at A? What is the new bank balance at A? All right. All right, we've got some answers coming in, and as soon as I go over this one, it'll make more sense. Good, we've got some answers coming in there. Looking, some of them are slightly different to each other, which is always very interesting. Rafilo is like, wow, it's the same as Paul. Good. All right, Chiamo with an 8,000. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Kaue, Batande, good. We've got answers coming in thick and fast now. Good. Your speed is good, guys. I hope the quality is also good. Here we go. Answers are coming in thick and fast. Good job. Well done. Wazi, we're going to soon find out. I'm going to I'm going to do it for you. Ashino, let me quickly see if we can unmute you. Ashino, we've prompted you to unmute, so just check your screen there. You should see a little pop-up for you to unmute. Just click that. There we go. All right, speak to us. How are you, Ashino? You there? Ashinique, you there?
Yes, I am. I would like to know how does it really work because I don't really understand it.
Okay, which part do you not understand? Is it the balance at the end of the statement? Is it the fees? Which part do you not sure about? Or is it the question?
The question.
Okay, it says determine the missing value A. So because A here at the end is in the balance column, we need to write the new balance after this transaction has happened. So you'll see here in the row above, which says Mrs. M. Smith, we got a total there at the back end of the sheet in the balance column there. It says 10,887.11. So that's the balance in the statement as it stands. Then this yellow row here is a new transaction, okay? At the end of this row, we have to show how the balance has changed after this transaction has happened. So this purchase of 125.60 and the fee for that, which is R1, how does that change the balance? Now, the previous balance was like the one above, 10,887.11. How does that change if a person purchased something to the value of 125.60 with a R1 fee? So what's the new balance going to be after this occurs? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right, excellent. Give it a try, and then I'm going to try it now as well, and we'll see if we get the same answer. Masejo, you have a question?
Hi, sir.
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. I have a question. So I can see that everyone that is calculating this transaction, they are not using the fees. Are we supposed to use the fees or what?
Yeah, you
The
are.
R1 fees.
Yes, we have to include the fees. The fees affect the balance. It's not just the transaction value, it's also the fees as well. So if you think you need to use the fee, you need to use the fee. All right, if something's telling you, I think I need to include the fee here, then do it. Okay, so
Okay.
the fees must be included in your calculations.
All right, thank you.
All right. Okay.
Sir, I don't know how to raise my hand, but can you hear me?
Hold on a second. Is it Vuyela?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, and you, sir?
Good. What's the question? What's up?
Now I got my answer, but now I would like to know when I calculate the thing, do I add the fees? Like for example, yeah, it says 125.60. Do I add the R1 when I calculate it in total?
Yes, you do. All right, I'm going to show you right now. You do. I'm going to show you exactly how to write it out. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Let me just go down a bit and create a bit of space. Okay, we're going to do this next to the question here. All right, so we want to know what is the new balance. So we've got to take the old balance here. Okay, so here's the old balance. It's 10,887 Rand and 11 cents. Okay, and we're going to change it. Now we need to know how we're going to change this. So an EFT purchase, because it's in the debit column and because it's a purchase, it removes money from your bank account. You're paying, and so money comes out of your bank account. You're not only paying for the purchase value of the item, you're also paying a fee. So the purchase value of the item and the fee must come off your account. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract these values. So I'm putting a minus there. And what I like to do, if I'm going to add two values together and then the answer of that must be subtracted from another value, I put a bracket. Okay, so inside this bracket, I need not only the purchase value of the item, which is 125 Rand 60, but I also need the R1 fee. So I'm adding these two values together. It's the purchase value of the item plus the fee for that purchase. So I'm just subtracting these two values from the the balance, which is 10,887 and 11 cents. I want to see what we get here. So I'm going to get my calculator out. This is how I do it on my calculator. Just like I wrote it out, this is exactly how I write it out on my calculator. So I'm going to do, whoa, that's a lot of eights. 7.11. Subtract, I use a bracket. Just like I wrote it out, 125 and 60 cents. And the fee, which is 1 rand. Okay. So I put it in a bracket and I subtract it from the main balance. Okay, whoopsie, my value is wrong. Oh, I can see Tiamo is already typing again. I better put this in. All right, so it's 10,887. Subtract the 2 fees. Let's see. Let's see what we get. All right, there we go. 10,759 and 51 cents. 10,759 and 51 cents. Well done. Okay, good job. All right. Paul, you must raise your hand next time. I'm sorry, I didn't see your message. You must raise your hand next time. You're more than welcome to explain. More than welcome. Okay, this is the answer for question 1. All right, I hope we all understand now. So it's not just the value of the purchase, it's the fee for that purchase as well that needs to be subtracted from the balance. Well done. Good job. Okay, let's have a look at the next question. There it is there. It says, number 2 at the bottom. Kim claims that there is a mistake in the fees column. The fees column. All right. Indicate where this mistake occurred and verify with calculations whether the statement is valid. Now, what statement is it? It's Kim saying there's a mistake in the fees column. We have to indicate where, number 1, and then verify with calculations whether she's telling the truth or not. So we're going to find if there's a mistake in the fees column. Okay, so I'm going to go up a little bit. Is there a mistake in the fees column? Can anyone tell me, can you see a mistake in the fees column? This is the information, these three sentences here tell us about all the fees. And these are all the fees here. Can you see if there's a mistake in the fee column? If you can, raise your hand and tell us where you see the mistake. We have to calculate and see if there is a mistake. Have a look in the fees column, and can you guys see a mistake? That's the question. Ah, Asaliku. Asalique?
So I think the problem is by the opening balance because it's 15, the fees there.
Oh, the second line. The second line, the deposit, where there's 1,000 rand over here.
So,
That 15 rand there for the fees. Is that what you're talking about?
yes, sir.
Okay, you think it's there. Good. Thank you for that. All right, now you got to try and do calculations to check if that value is actually right or not. So if you think it's a mistake, you've actually got to do a calculation to prove if it's right or wrong. See, I was like, I've had enough of this. Spiwo says no. What does that mean, Spiwo? No, you don't want to do it, or no, you don't think it's a mistake? All right, we've got someone that said that the 15 rand fee in the second transaction, the second row, is incorrect. I hope you guys are looking and checking with calculations. Anyone else think there's a mistake? Rafilo agrees. Sakile, come on, I know you like to talk to us. Where's the mistake, Sakile? All right, a lot of people are agreeing. A lot of people are agreeing with the first statement that, okay, so Chiamo's saying, hold on, the 5th of January, the fee is wrong. We've got 2 for the 5th of January, Chiamo. We've got 2 here, there's 1 there and 1 there. Concars, okay, Chiamo's saying Concars is wrong. Sakile, there we go. Sakile, talk to us.
Hi, sir.
How are you?
I'm getting you, sir.
Good, thank you. Which one is wrong?
I would say the 15 Rand,
Why?
because in the note, on the first point, it says the fee for deposits is 2 Rand plus 1 Rand for every 100 Rand. But there, the
Yes.
fee says it's so it's wrong.
So you're
Yeah.
saying if this statement is correct, then that 15 Rand is wrong. Did you do a calculation to check it?
No, I just looked at the notes and
Okay,
then
so
I
you looked at
saw the first
so,
point.
so you're looking at the notes and you're looking at that value of 15, thinking, that doesn't look right. Is that what you did?
Yep.
Okay, now you need to go and try and do a calculate, because the second part of the question is, number one, recognize where the error is. Number two, justify with calculations why you say what you say. Okay, so if everyone's agreeing that the 15 Rand is wrong, you guys have to do a calculation using this fee payment structure in the first line here at the bottom. You've got to use, like Sakile said, this line to check if the deposit of 1,000 Rand, what the fee should be. And then check your answer with the fee that they've got and tell me what the difference is. Lesejo says the fee 15 Rand is right. Lesejo, I hope you did a calculation to check it. Right, we've got to check this now. So we've got to use this first line of fees, 2 Rand plus 100 Rand, sorry, 2 Rand plus 1 Rand for every 100, and do a calculation on 1,000 Rand and check what the fee should be. And your answer and the fee that they have, do they match? You guys need to do that calculation now. I'm going to give you 3 minutes. So I'm telling you, use this fee structure plus the 1,000 Rand, calculate what the fee should be, and check and see what's on the bank statement if it's correct. Okay, I'll give you guys 3 minutes to do this. It actually should take 2 minutes. It's quick. I actually did it over here. I did an example over here on the screen earlier because I knew this question was coming. So I actually gave you a hint on how to do that calculation. There we go. Bianca's done a calculation and said, I've checked and it should be 10. The speed was good, Bianca. Is the quality good? That was fast. Domingo is decreeing the poor. Yes. Talk to us.
Hi, sir.
Hi, the poor. How are you?
I'm good and you?
Good, thank you.
So I just added the balance and the credit and the fees. It doesn't add up because the balance is 13,768.56 and I have 13,798.56. That's what I got.
So you took this second balance here and then you subtracted the first balance to see what you got. Is that what you did?
Yes, sir, I did that.
And then you checked it with these two values, the 1,000 Rand and the 15 Rand. You added them together and checked if it was the same.
Yes, so I didn't get that answer. So I think 15, the statement is not valid.
Good. I love what you did there. All right, you didn't even use the fee instruction, how to work this fee out. You didn't even use that. You just said, well, I've checked the balance. The balance doesn't match what these two numbers add up to, so it can't be right. Very good. Fantastic. I'm very proud of you. That's incredible. Well done, Depura. Right, Lesejo says the fee should be 12 Rand. All right, I think Lesejo's done a calculation. It says the fees must be 12 Rand. So that 15 is wrong. I love what Depura did. In fact, let's do that calculation and then I'm going to do a second one. All right, so what Depura did, she took these two balances and she subtracted them and said, I wonder what the difference is and does it match what's in that transaction. So Depura took 13,768 and 56 cents. I'm going to move over slightly here. All right, and I'm going to, and she subtracted 12783 and 56 cents and got an answer. All right, let's do that quickly and check. So 13768.56, whoopsie, minus 12783.56, and that was the value. This was the value. 985. Sorry. This was the difference. Okay. Then the board checked it with what it should be. You know, the difference between those new numbers should be these two added up, the 1,000 and the fee. So what the poor has done and said, hold on, it's not right. So now the poor, here's the thing. When you put money into your bank accounts, this person's putting 1,000 Rand in, but it costs them 15 Rand. So we got to work out, they put 1,000 in, but they taking 15 Rand. So how much is actually going in? So 1,000 is going in, but the fee is 15 Rand. Do I add the fee on? No, I need to take away the 15 Rand because that's how much it's costing me to deposit that money. All right. That's how much it's costing me to deposit that money. So it's 9. Let's see what it is. 1,000 minus 15. It's also 985. So the poor, what's happened is that the bank balance change is 985. And if I add 1,000 minus the fee, which is also 985, and if they've actually changed the bank balance correctly according to those two values. So if these two values are wrong, they've changed the bank balance according to the wrong values. I think that's what happened. I think they've done the bank balance change correct to those two values provided there. The question is though, is that fee correct? Is the 15 Rand correct? Now we've had some people already in the chat saying, no, that 15 Rand is wrong. They shouldn't have changed the bank balance by 1,000 minus 15. They should have done something else. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So the poor's check is like, hold on, these two different, do they match those values? Yes, they do. But I don't think that 15 Rand is correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make the space again. And we're going to check the calculation of the fee here. So I think the poor, they've actually changed the balance correctly according to the values given, but are those values given correct? That's the question. All right. So let's check now. So we're going to take this line here at the bottom, and we're going to use it to work out the fees for ourselves. Okay. It says 2 Rand plus 1 Rand for every 100. All right. So we need 2 Rand always plus 1 Rand for every 100. Now you all know there are 10 hundreds in 1,000 Rand. Okay, because it was 1,000 Rand that was deposited. So there are 10 hundreds, and it's 1 Rand for every 100 Rand you deposit. So we're going to say 1 times 1 Rand. Sorry, 1 times 10. There are 10 hundreds in here. Okay, in 1,000 Rand. So if we do this calculation, 2 Rand plus 1 Rand times 10, which is 10 Rand, we get 12. Okay, so this 15 Rand that the bank is charging us, or Mr. De Villiers, is wrong. They've changed the balance correctly, but that 15 Rand, it shouldn't be there. It should be 12, and we should change the balance in a different way. Okay, so Malefane, yes, definitely not 15, but according to this calculation, it should be 12. So it's 2 Rand plus 1 Rand times 10. Don't forget to add on the 2 Rand. So that makes it 12 Rand. Okay, yes. Okay, so it's 12 Rand that should be there, not the 15 Rand that the bank is saying. So the bank is trying to steal more money. All right. Yes, easy to make that mistake. It's 2 Rand plus. This is why I use brackets. So the 1 Rand times 10 must be added to the 2 Rand as well. Okay. All right. Good job, Lesejo. Good job. All right. So that line there on the 3rd of January is incorrect. So what we look, let's go to the question. It says Kim claims there's a mistake. Indicate where this mistake occurred and verify with calculations whether the statement is valid. So let's set the answer up now. This is how we would answer this question. Number one, indicate where this mistake occurred. So I'm going to remove this calculation here, and I'm going to bring this one down. This is our answer for question 2. I just want to show you guys how we set up the answer here, because we need to follow exactly what the instruction of the question is. So there's the answer. They say, number 1, indicate where this mistake occurred. So we can say a mistake at 3rd of January 19. So that's where the mistake occurred. That's the first thing. The second is verify with calculations whether the statement is valid or not. So we've done the calculation. All right. Their statement is 15 Rand. We've checked it. It should be 12. So 15 Rand fee is invalid or incorrect. All right. You can say invalid or incorrect. Okay. So we followed every part of this question. Number 1, indicate where the mistake is, verify with calculations, we've done that, and say whether the statement is valid or not. So 50 Rand fee is invalid. All right. Okay. All right, that's question 2. Let's finish this off with question number 3. All right, there's question number 3 at the bottom. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can read this. All right. The bank has confirmed, yeah, you see, they made a mistake. The bank has confirmed that there is indeed an error on this statement. If the error is corrected, what should Kim's balance be on the 28th? Oh my gosh. Now, they've made a mistake and then they want us to fix it for them. All right. Whew, guys, there's a lot of transactions and a lot of balances here. Surely there's a better way to correct this. So where did the 10? Okay, Chiama, I'll show you where the 10 came from. So you guys have a look at this. I'll keep the balance column on the screen. I'm just going to show Tiamo here where the 10 comes from. All right, so there's the balance column still on the screen there. How are we going to correct the statement at the end, the last one? How are we going to do that, guys? Surely there's an easy way. We're not going to redo all the calculations, guys. Surely there's an easy way. So Tiamo, this 10 here, if you look at this line, the instructions for fees, it says 2 Rand plus 1 Rand for every 100. So we need to know this 1,000 Rand that was deposited here, how many hundreds were there? So a quick calculation is 1,000 Rand divided by 100. How many hundreds are in the 1,000 Rand? So you just divide it by 100 and you can see there are 10 hundreds in there. So each 100 needs to be multiplied by 1 Rand. Yeah, Javante. Banks. Oof, they're bad news. Banks are bad news. Now, this is why math literacy is so cool, because if you understand how this works and you can do the math, you could actually follow your transactions and check, oh, why is this? In fact, a friend of mine, they got their bank account linked to their phone. So whenever there's a transaction, a message comes through, and this person saw a message came through saying 100 Rand was debited from your account. And then they said, hold on, what's this for? So they went into their bank account and they followed the balances and checked, and they looked at the details and like, this is the detail of this transaction. And yes, they've taken 100 Rand off. What is this for? I don't know anything about this. And they actually phoned the bank, and the bank said, actually, yeah, this is a scam, a huge scam in the country where people were losing like 99 Rand or 100 Rand or something like that. Somehow details got out and this person lost a lot of money. Yeah, lots of scams out there. You've got to be careful. This is why it's important to check on this stuff. Okay, so how are we going to change this total, guys? How are we going to change this total? What are we going to do here to this total at the end? So the mistake that was made is that this 15 should be a 12. How are we going to correct the final statement at the bottom? Can you guys think of a way we can do this? Are we going to recalculate everything? Does anyone have an idea how we're going to correct this statement right at the bottom here so that it's a true reflection of the counts? Any ideas, guy? Paul. Yes, and Paul, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, man. Tell me, what are we going to do?
I think we need to recalculate everything.
Oh my gosh, and Paul. Please don't say that. Do we really have to do that?
Yes, because the fee is 15 rand, so the balance is going to be wrong when the fee is wrong.
Yeah, you're right. The balance is going to be wrong.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Let's think about it. Surely there's, okay, I'll repeat the question. The question is, the bank has, I'll tell you the question. The bank has confirmed there is an error. We need to help the bank now. Can you believe it? And change the bank balance at the bottom of the statement to be correct. Okay, so the bank balance at the bottom of the statement needs to be correct. So we have to correct this error. So this 15 here should be 12. How are we going to correct this error at the bottom? The statement at the bank balance at the bottom needs to be correct. Now, I'm Paul's suggesting we redo everything. Do each line, each transaction, and recalculate with a calculator and go and do it all again. Does anyone else have an idea what we can do? That's going to take forever. Surely there's a better way. Anyone have an idea? Where's Sonia? Where's Janu, Tayamo? What must we do, guys? How are we going to correct this statement? So first thing, I'll give you a clue. The first thing we need to do is find out how much the error is. We see what the value is now, 15. We know it should be 12. Okay, if it was 12 there, what would the balance be? Then we just subtract 3. All right, Lesejo, you onto something now. You onto something, Lesejo. You've got an idea. All right. So Lesejo says we need to subtract 3 from the last value there. Oh, at least it looks like she's going to do all of them. So Lesejo is onto something here, saying, guys, don't redo everything. Look at that last balance there and just correct it for the mistake that was made in the second line. Okay, because at the end of the day, you must understand a bank statement. We've got an opening balance and a closing balance. All the transactions that occur, money comes in, money goes out. But what's going to happen at the end is the most important thing. So the bank's saying, yes, you make a mistake on line 2. The 15 shouldn't be 15, it should be a 12. How does that affect this person's balance? All right, what was 15? Should be a 12. So how does it affect the person's balance at the end of the month? Has the person lost money once it's corrected? Or have they gained money once it's corrected? Because the difference between 12 and 15 is 3. Yes, Lesejo, you're right. The difference is 3. The question is, what do we do with that 3? So is this person gaining money if we correct this, or are they losing money if we correct this? The bank says we made a mistake. It's 15, but it should be 12. So has this person, Mr. De Villiers, gained money or lost money? That's what we should be asking ourselves. I would say they originally charged 15. They corrected it to 12. This person has gained money now. All right. They originally charged 15. We said, no, it should be 12. The bank says, we'll correct it. Change the balance at the end. So the 3 comes from, so if you look at the fees here in yellow, it's 15 Rand. And we did a calculation here to check that 15 Rand because we said there's a mistake. So we did a calculation, and here's the I've gone too far. Here's the calculation. We checked that it should actually be 12. All right, that was the previous question. So then how does this change? It should be 12. It was 15. Now we're changing it to 12. How does this person's balance at the end of the month change? Does it increase by 3 or does it decrease by 3? Yes, there we go, Lesejo. Well done. You corrected yourself. Fantastic. We need to increase this balance by 3. Okay, so this person is owed more money. The bank took off 15, but they said, oh, we made a mistake. Correct the balance. So it shouldn't be 15, it should be 12. That 15 Rand fee shouldn't be 15, it should be 12. So this person is going to get more money. They didn't, the fee that was charged is being reduced to 12. So this person doesn't have to pay a full 15, they're only paying 12 now. So all these values underneath can increase by 3, all the way to the final one, which must increase by 3. So this 19,718 Rand and 1 cent, I'll do the calculation here quickly, needs to change by increasing by 3. All right. So it's just going to be 19,721 Rand and 1 cent. So that should be the new bank balance. So we've corrected it. We've given that person that 3 Rand back because the bank overcharged them in the fee. Okay. I hope everyone can understand that. Are there any questions before we say good night? I'm not going to give you any more questions now. Is there anything that you don't understand that we can quickly cover before we say goodnight? Lebo is going to give you the poll while anyone poses a question. The poll will come up now. And if there are no questions, we're going to call it a night. Boy, it shouldn't decrease because originally it was 15 Rand was charged. Okay, and the 15 Rand gave all these balance totals, right, that you see in the statement. So we're going to change that 15 Rand to 12, which means all these balance totals should go up by 3. Originally, 15 Rand was taken off, but we said, no, you can't take 15 Rand off. You can only take 12. Give me 3 Rand back. So all those totals from the 13,768 in that row need to all go up by 3. The first one goes up by 3 and all the rest must go up by 3 right up until the last one. Okay, right up until the last one. Shuru, please don't stress. Okay, if you've just joined us, also if you're not understanding anything in here tonight, they do record this video and they put it on their YouTube channel. So you can easily go ahead and watch this all again, especially the part that you don't understand, and check it out. Malefane, did you have a question?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, like, there's no need for us to add the whole thing. We just only add.
Yeah, we're only at the end. Okay, because all these other transactions were correct. They've changed the balance correctly. All right, but all these totals in the balance column, they just all go up by 3, all the way to the last one. Okay, so if you think about it like this, there's a starting balance and an end balance, and all the transactions in between. Some come in, money comes in, money goes out. Okay, so if we leave it as it is, this value at the end, 19,718, is short by 3 Rand. Okay, it's short by 3 Rand. So we need to increase the final value at the end of the month by 3 Rand. That's all we need to do. All right.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Don't stress, Chiamo. Okay. Otandwa?
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, and you, sir?
Good. What's your question? How can I help you?
I wanted to ask, where does the 3 come from when you said 19,718 comma
0.01 plus 3. Yes.
Where does it come from?
Okay, I'll tell you. So did you see in the bank statement that they charged a fee of 15 Rand for the deposit? Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That 15 Rand, in question 2, we determined that 15 Rand is incorrect. We checked it and we got 12 Rand. So this calculation here on the right hand side is that we checked that transaction, we did a calculation, and we see that 15 Rand should actually be 12. All right. So the bank charged us 15, but they should have charged us 12. They've got to give us 15 minus 12 is 3. They've got to give us 3 Rand back. You see?
Okay, sir, I understand now.
Yeah, okay. So they overcharged us. They charged us
Yes, sir.
3 Rand too much. Okay, so we're putting that 3 Rand back at the end of the month.
Okay, sir.
All right. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to call it a night now.